Hi everyone. Friends, today, we will once again visualize tabular data from the terms of reference in order to get a modern, minimalistic slide that will help you speak at a conference or in front of colleagues, show the results of your work. In addition, we will set up animation so that you can gradually show the data you will be talking about and thereby keep the audience's attention to your report. We'll try to make it in 20 minutes. Challenge accepted. Let's get started. Let's duplicate our first slide. We right-click on the thumbnail and select Duplicate Slide. Now, to set the borders of our slide, turn on the guides. Now, with the Control key held down, I drag the vertical guide to the left border with the left mouse button to a value of 15. We will set exactly the same border on the right side. We drag the horizontal guide to the top border to the value 8. And we will set exactly the same value at the bottom border of our slide. Ready? We have marked the boundaries of our slide beyond which we will not place our content. Now let's take a look at the title of our slide. Copy the text block with the left mouse button while holding down the Control key. Let's remove the extra information and leave only the title. Let's increase the right border of the text block to our guides. Select all the text in the block with its Control key combination. In the font menu, select the Montserrat black font and increase the font using the Increase Font Size button to 48 points. Amazing! Now let's align our text to the guides using the arrow keys. Ready? Let's move the color palette and text block to make room in the center of the slide for the chart. To do this, in the Drawing menu, select the object arc and with the left mouse button while holding Shift, draw an ideal arc. Right-click on it and select Format Shape from the pop-up menu. Next, go to the Size and Properties tab, turn on the Lock Aspect Ratio marker and manually set the size to 6.5. Now align our arc to the center and middle. We return to the Format Shape menu. In the Line section, increase the line thickness to 40. Cap type is round. Great. Now we need to display 60% of the text block. To do this, hold down the yellow circle with the left mouse button and drag it along the circumference. At the bottom point we will have 50%, at this point it is already 75%. So the value we need is right here. Ready? Now, in order for the arc animation to work properly, let's take one more step. To do this, in the Drawing menu, select the oval object and draw a circle. To do this, hold down the Shift key. Next, go to the Size and Properties tab, turn on the Lock Aspect Ratio marker and manually set the size to 8. Aligns also in the center and in the middle. Let's put it in the background. In the Shape Outline menu, select the No Outline option. And in the Shape Fill menu, the No Fill option. Select the arc and the circle with the left mouse button and group them with the Ctrl-G key combination. Go to the Animations tab and select the Wheel Animation. Let's turn on the display of the animation panel and take another look at the animation. Great, but the beginning of the arc appears at the very end. To correct this point, we will draw the starting point. In the Drawing menu, select the oval object and draw a circle. We put it at the beginning of our arc. In the Shape Outline menu, select the No Outline option. Let's see what the animation looks like now. Great! A text block with a number for our chart. We write 60% in it. Align to the center and middle of the slide. Select the text in the block with the Ctrl key combination. In the Font menu, select the Montserrat font and increase the font to 32. Align again. Great. Copy the text block by holding down the Ctrl and Shift keys, dragging down with the left mouse button. In this block we will write last year. Let's recolor the chart in corporate colors from the provided palette. Click on it with the right mouse button to open the Format Shape panel again. Select a gradient fill, type radial. Let's move the right gradient stop a little closer to the center. In the direction menu, select the option with a light area in the middle. Amazing! Starting point ready. Let's do the arc. Left click to select our block, and now click again to select the arc. Also select gradient line. With the left mouse button, drag the gradient stop down to leave only 2. And now, using the eyedropper tool, select the desired color from the palette. For the right gradient stop again, click on the fill button and select the more colors parameter, and in the menu that appears, left click gradient stop down to a darker shade and click OK. Great. Let's check the animation again. I like our result. Let's add an animation for the text block with percentages. Select it with the left mouse button. Go to the Animations tab and select the Fade animation. Start with Previous. Ready. With the left mouse button, select the diagram and the text block, and with the Ctrl and Shift keys held down, copy to the left, to the guide and to the right, also to the guide. Change the value in the text block. Here it will be 75%, and in this 90%. We also need to increase the length of the arc to the appropriate values. We click 2 times on the arc and holding the left mouse button on the yellow circle, drag it to the 75% mark. In the third chart, we need a value of 90%. It's located around here. Ready. Let's transfer the palette and the text block with information from the workspace. And also holding down the Ctrl and Shift keys, copy the text under the diagrams. And now we change their value. Last month. All time. Let's recolor the second and third diagrams in corporate colors from the provided palette. Click on the starting point with the left mouse button, open the Format Shape panel. Using the eyedropper tool, select the desired color from the palette. For the right gradient stop again, click on the fill button and select the more colors parameter, and in the menu that appears, left click gradient stop down to a darker shade and click OK. Select the arc by double-clicking on it with the left mouse button. In the color menu, using the recent colors panel, select the colors for the left and right gradient stop. We repeat the same for the third diagram. But for her, choose the red color from the palette. Select the arc by double-clicking on it with the left mouse button. In the color menu, using the recent colors panel, select the colors for the left and right gradient stop. Great. Open the animation panel again and see that the chart animation order starts from the center one. To fix this, hold down the Shift key and with the left mouse button select the animations of the first diagram and the text block 60% and drag them above. Ready. The next step is to recolor all the text in the blue color specified in the palette. To do this, hold down the Shift key and select all the text blocks on the slide with the left mouse button. In the font color menu, use the eyedropper to select the desired color from the palette. Let's immediately change the background color to the color remaining from the palette. Select eyedropper from the Format Background menu and left-click to recolor the background. I want to add a slide number. To do this, select all the text in the block, delete it and write 1 instead. Let's reduce the borders of the test block. Change the font style to Montserrat. Let's move it to the borders of the guides. And in the font color menu, select for it such a dark gray color. Great. Let's take the palette out of the slide border and check what we get. Launch the presentation using the Shift F5 keys. I like the result, but let's add some depth to our donuts. To do this, right-click and select Format Shape from the pop-up menu. Next, open the Effects tab and select Shadows. In presets, select offset. Center. Great, the depth has appeared and now the starting point looks much better. Let's repeat this shadow for the second and third diagrams. Launch the presentation using the Shift F5 keys. Great. Now let's add depth to the arc itself. Select by clicking the left mouse button on the grouped object. In the Format Shape menu, open the Effects tab again and select Shadows. But now in Presets we will select the very first offset. Bottom right. Now let's do the same for the two remaining charts. And finally, most importantly, to additionally show on the slide the growth in the number of users, we will add a plus sign to each percentage text box. Ready? Let's launch. Friends, today we made a beautiful, modern, minimalistic slide. We set up an animation for it, which will help you keep the attention of the audience during your speech and display information gradually. By the way, this time, the video turned out to be much less than 20 minutes, but I left a few Easter eggs. If you find them, be sure to write in the comments where they are and what they are. It will be interesting to see if you find them all. Hope you enjoy. If this is your first time on this channel, make sure you subscribe, share with your friends and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified. Well done for watching this video to the end. Hope to see you in the next video and thanks for watching.